You ever look at a massive, multi-year SAP project and just wonder how it doesn't completely fall apart? Well, the secret isn't just about the tech. It's really all about the flow of information. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on all that paperwork and see how these documents, these artifacts, are actually the lifeblood that moves from one team to the next, pushing the entire project forward. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. How do you do that? You've got your design teams, data teams, testing teams, security, operations, the list goes on. And they all have to work in perfect harmony. One tiny miscommunication can spiral into huge delays and blow up the budget. So how on earth do you prevent that chaos? Well, the answer is you need a rock-solid framework. And in the SAP world, that framework is SAP Activate. The best way to think about it is as the official rulebook for the project. It gives you the structure, the phases, and most importantly, the common language that everyone from the project director all the way down to a branding developer is going to follow to stay on the same page. Okay, to really make sense of this, we're going to imagine our whole project is a high-stakes relay race. First up, we'll look at the project blueprint, basically setting the rules for the race. Then we'll get into position at the starting blocks with foundation and framing. After that, it's the main event, the build and test. Then we'll sprint for the finish line with go live and beyond. And finally, we'll talk about why this whole flow, this whole process, is so incredibly important.
Right, so every great race needs a plan, right? Before any of our runners even think about getting to the starting line, we've got to understand the track, who's running each leg of the race, and what the exact rules are for a successful competition.
So check this out. This table really maps out the entire race course for us. Look across the top. You've got the 6 phases of SAP Activate. Think of those as the different legs of our relay. And then, running down the side, you have the work streams. These are our runners, the specialized teams like project management, design, and testing. You can see right away just how complex this gets and why that coordination is absolutely everything. And this right here brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing. In a relay race, you can have the fastest runners on the planet, but if you fumble the baton pass, you lose. It's that simple. In an SAP project, that baton is the artifact. It's a document, a plan, a specification. The success of the entire project literally hinges on a clean, seamless handover of these artifacts between our teams. All right, let's head to the starting blocks. These early phases, discover, prepare, and explore, they're all about building a solid foundation to run on. This is where the initial strategy gets locked in and where the first and arguably most critical baton passes take place.
You just can't have runners all sprinting off in different directions. The race has to begin with one unified vision, a single source of truth that clearly defines the finish line for every single person involved.
And here's that first handover in action. The project management team, they fire the starting gun by creating the project charter. This artifact lays out the goals, the scope, the what we're doing and why. That's the first baton. It gets passed to the design team, who then use it as their North Star during the Fit to Standard workshops. And out of those workshops, a brand new, much more detailed artifact is born, the product backlog. Now, this product backlog becomes the detailed race plan for everyone. It is the undisputed source of truth. It's a prioritized list of every single thing that needs to be built, configured, and delivered. Every runner on every team is now looking at this artifact to know exactly what they need to do during their leg of the race. So now we're entering the realize phase. This is the main event, folks. It's the longest, most intense part of the project. This is where all the building, the coding, the configuring actually happens. And it is jam-packed with dozens of baton handovers happening all at once. This is a classic example of a handover, and it's brilliant. You have a business analyst who writes a functional specification. It's written in plain English and describes what the business needs. That's the baton. They pass it to a developer who uses it to create a super technical specification, which details exactly how they're going to build it. It's a perfect, seamless translation from a business need into a technical solution. Here's another flow that's absolutely critical. The design team configures the system, and they document everything in configuration guides. That's their baton. They pass it over to the testing team. And let me be clear, the testers literally cannot do their job without it. They use those guides to write detailed step-by-step test scripts, which ensures they are validating exactly what was built, tracing it all the way back to those original requirements. All right, we're rounding the final turn and heading for the finish line. The deploy and run phases, this is where all that blood, sweat, and tears pays off. This is the moment we go live and hand the finished solution over to the business for good.
The entire go-live weekend, that incredibly complex dance of switching off the old system and turning on the new one, is orchestrated by one single master artifact. All that complexity, every task for every team, boils down to this: one master plan. The cutover plan is the minute-by-minute playbook that keeps everyone in sync for a flawless transition.
And you don't just write a plan that important and hope for the best. No way. You rehearse it. Again and again. The project team will run multiple full-scale dress rehearsals, what we call dry runs. We're talking 5 or more sometimes, just to practice the handovers, iron out every little kink, and build that muscle memory needed for a perfectly smooth go-live. And then it's the big moment. Go live. The finish line is crossed. All of the planning, all of the building, all of the testing, it all culminates in this one event where the new system is officially switched on and becomes the new reality for every user in the business. But the race isn't quite over yet. Right after go live, the project goes into a period called hypercare. The best analogy for this? It's like having the entire medical team waiting for you right at the finish line. The project team provides this intensive, white-glove support to fix any immediate issues and make sure the system is stable and the users are comfortable. And now for the final baton pass, the one for the victory lap. The project team hands over a whole library of crucial artifacts: final solution documentation, training manuals, support guides, to the permanent operations and support team. This final handover is what ensures the solution can be supported, maintained, and improved for years and years to come.
So we've followed that baton all the way through the project lifecycle. Let's zoom out for a second and ask the big question. Why does this structured flow of artifacts actually matter so much?
Well, the principles baked right into SAP Activate really say it all. This whole factory-like approach isn't about creating bureaucracy just for the sake of it. It's about delivering real, tangible business value, getting the solution live faster, lowering the total cost of the project, and of course, ensuring a smooth, painless transition for the business. And this really breaks down those benefits perfectly. This flow creates traceability. I mean, we can follow a single requirement from a workshop all the way to a specific line of code. It builds in quality assurance because every artifact is a quality gate. It forces team alignment, keeping everyone marching to the beat of the same drum. And when you add all that up, it fundamentally reduces project risk. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. These artifacts are not just documents. They are the structured conversations between your teams. And you know the old saying, garbage in, garbage out? The quality of one team's work is directly tied to the quality of the artifact they received. A clean, seamless flow is what prevents all the misunderstandings and rework that can kill a project. At the end of the day, SAP Activate is what turns that potential chaos into a coordinated gold medal performance.
And that really leaves us with one final question to think about. Look at your own projects. Is the documentation you're creating just a static checklist of boxes to be ticked? Or is it a dynamic, living conversation that's actively connecting your teams and powering your project all the way to the finish line?